So many things.
So many.
So many things. All right, what's up, guys? HiveWire podcast. We're back. We got Chaz Wells today.
Hey, how's it going?
I'm your host, Charlie King. We're going to do a little interview.
Sounds good to me.
How you doing?
I'm good, man.
Nice.
I got up. I got dressed. nice.
I love it, dude.
Thank you.
I love that shirt.
Yeah, I call it Versace. I found it in Texas.
Really?
And it's like knockoff Versace.
I love it.
So, Versace.
I think that has more character than Versace.
I think
Better
so
story, too.
Yeah.
So
way
what's
better.
popping today? What's popping? How are you? How's everything going?
Good. I've been working like a dog. I've been I guess big news is I'm most likely moving to Vegas in the next couple of weeks for, I got art related job, and Phat Lip will most likely come with me, but we'll get into that later. But
Yeah,
I've been
dude.
kind of working towards that, getting ready to move.
I love
Move, start a new life.
Well, why don't you tell people where you're from?
I was born in New Haven, but because of my dad's job being on the radio, we moved a lot. So I was born in Connecticut, and then we moved to Texas. Then he got fired from that job, and then we moved to California, then Long Island for a good set of time, and then Connecticut, and we moved around Connecticut for a little bit.
You've been all over the place.
I've lived a lot of those earlier states I don't remember. I kind of remember Texas, kind of remember California. I remember Long Island. That's where I really feel like I kind of started, my memory was there.
Yeah.
And then I started skateboarding in Connecticut when we moved back in Shelton.
So what's the local over there?
The local used to be this park underneath 84 or Route 8, excuse me.
Okay.
And that was my first skate park. You had to go to City Hall and buy tickets. And
Really?
it was really funny. It was an outdoor park, but you had to go to City Hall, buy tickets.
I've never heard of that. That's crazy.
Yeah, it's old. That was
know what?
old OG, like.
Super OG. How much were the tickets?
I don't remember. I think it was like $5 or
Did they
something.
make you wear a helmet?
I think my parents made me wear a helmet. Actually, I think there was a guy there, but I don't think he cared. Still like 18-year-old skateboarder getting paid probably
Not really trying
$30
to
for the day.
not trying to kill your buzz. and
Yeah,
stuff like
yeah.
that.
So my parents were more into that than I was. But yeah, that was my first park.
Cool, man. What park do you think you've spent the most time at?
Ledgewood.
Yeah.
That is my park, baby.
Yeah.
I
that's
love
what's
that
up.
park.
Hell yeah.
Ledgewood, I've always been a ledge guy, and
I'm right there with you.
yeah, so they had the small ledge, and then we called it the coffin, so it was the bigger ledge, and that was like, I loved having pop. That was like one of the focuses in my skateboarding was to have high pop, high tricks, and so to have high ledges was like, let's go. That's how I learned backsmith, was on high ledges.
Favorite trick right there.
Yeah, that's yours.
Yeah, dude.
That's
the best.
such a.
I saw a good picture of you doing a couple backsmiths.
Yeah, that just
Just
came
the other day,
out.
I was like, ooh, perfectly dipped.
Ryan Tickner, my biggest influence for backsmiths.
That's dope.
When I went to Academy my first time, no one was there but him. He was like just warming up, and he asked me if I had any wax. I was like, no. Actually, I did. I have wax. I gave it to him. He's like, oh, cool. He waxed it, backsmith the 8 hubba first try.
Jesus,
Insanity.
nice.
I was like, where am I?
It's
Like,
so perfect looking too.
yeah.
Jesus, that's dope. Yeah, that's my favorite trick. I love it. It's the best one. Feels the best.
Yeah, I think my favorite trick right now, I love nollies. Nollies is my favorite stance. So just like a nice, good nollie, or like a nice wet tray flip. Nothing.
You
feels
got a good
better.
nollie inward heel too.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you. Growing up, so we moved from Shelton to Bethlehem, and Bethlehem's just farmland. So my parents had a barn, and growing up, I was like, well, I'm just gonna practice on my flat ground. So I would set days, and I used to call it. Barracks were doing like the Trickopedias, so I knocked off. If you go on YouTube, Barnopedias. So I would do that trick like 100 times.
Yeah.
And then I would kind of finish it like onto like a rail or onto the ledge, like into something or out of
Dope.
something.
Classic.
Yeah,
Love it.
just to give a little spice at the end, so you didn't watch me just do 10 kick flips.
Yeah. So what are you riding right now? What's your setup look like?
Right now, I have the BEZ board, the one with the purple wood with the flower, and then I think it's an 838.
Shouts to Justin. BEZ
Justin,
sick.
yeah, always ride local. It's either BEZ or Social Hour. Those are the boards I ride.
Mm-hmm.
And then I've had these not independents, Thunders that Tommy gave me on my 21st birthday. I've had them for 7 years.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
That's Thunder right there.
Yeah.
I'm riding Thunders right now too.
The bushings are so blown out, but I'm so used to it that it's,
There you go. If it works, it works.
it
Right?
works. It works. And then I ride Spitfire Formula 4s,
Let's get it.
bone Swiss bearings.
There you go.
Yeah.
You know what? I just started riding Bronson Ceramics recently. Top notch.
Yeah. Tommy was telling me to try to get into dial tone wheels. He really likes those.
Oh yeah, we got some in the case.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, they're dope.
Maybe I'll cop a pair right after.
Yeah, they're sick, dude.
It's hard because I find the thing I like and I don't want to try new things. I'm like, this is the formula. It works. So like a new product, I'm invested months now into this thing,
Right.
Like if you get a bad board, it's like, well, I'm gonna ride it till it breaks.
Yeah, and sometimes you're like, maybe I'm gonna end up breaking this a little sooner.
Yeah,
somehow.
maybe I'm gonna get real mad.
You know what's gonna happen. You're gonna fucking focus it or something.
But wheels and trucks are long lasting,
you want to
investments.
hold on to those for a while.
Yeah,
for sure. And especially trucks that you like that skate good, man. That's like a fucking treasure.
Yeah. So I grew up. My first complete was Baker Spanky Green. I think it was his first pro board. Grind Kings.
Oh, really?
You remember the Grind Kings?
Sick.
You needed the
with
Allen wrench.
Allen, yeah.
Richtas. And I was a
Yeah.
Richta guy for a long time.
I was too when I was a kid.
Yeah.
I rode Richtas for like a little patch.
Yeah.
And Crux for a little bit.
Crux. I remember I had a pair of Crux. I didn't really. I think they were like too tight or something. They were a little stiff for me.
Yeah, they don't turn that good anymore.
Yeah. Grind Kings. I don't remember the hardware. Probably some Shorty's hardware. I tried to get Shorty's hardware.
Some of the Silverados.
Yeah. I think my first video that I ever saw was Going Nowhere Faster. It was an Element All Girls video.
Oh, really?
Or not. Yeah, and
No
that was
way.
the early 2000s.
Fuck yeah, I don't think I've seen that.
Yeah, it's old video,
That's
and
sick.
I used to have the biggest crush on Vanessa Torres.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There you go.
13-year-old
She's
me.
on Meow now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Or is she like one of the owners or something along those lines?
I don't know.
I would just
yeah. I don't know.
That's sick though. Shouts out to her.
Yeah,
She's killing
that
it.
was my first video, and then my second video was Shorty's How to Go Pro, because I was a big Chad Muska fan.
Mm-hmm.
Because he was the first time I found someone with a name as close as Chaz. Because no
Yeah.
one has a name like Chaz.
I watched Guilty probably 1,000 times.
Yeah.
I loved that shit. So good. Brandon Turner and Peter Smolik back in the day.
Brandon Turner. I used to tweet at him like when Twitter was. He would always get back to me.
Really?
Such an OG. Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Good switch hard flip.
Yes.
Sick, dude.
So sick.
So you want to tell me a little bit about your art background?
Yeah. So growing up, I'm an only child, so I always had to find a way to preoccupy myself because it was, my parents always worked, and so I would always have, pad, pen, pencil, and I would draw I would do a lot of drawings of like movie covers, and I try to replicate them and stuff like that. As a kid, you don't know you could do that as a job, so it kind of phased out over time. I got into skateboarding. And then in high school, there was a teacher that noticed I was a little bit more creative than the other kids. And she asked me to take a summer course in graphic design so I could be in the advanced course my senior year. I was like, sure, sounds cool. Graphic design's cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
And from there, my senior year, she was like, let's do a portfolio. We'll send it out to this contest, see what happens. And I did a 10-piece portfolio about how, like, I made all these like zombie Disney characters with like corporate like logos everywhere, and I wrote a thing up on how Disney's all just about corporations. They're not about the characters.
Yeah.
And I won a gold medal in states and a silver medal nationally for my portfolio.
That's sick, dude.
Yeah.
Wow, that's so impressive.
So I got a scholarship
yeah.
to University of Hartford, and that's where I went. And from there, I found painting and sculpture. And I didn't want to, you know, at 18, I was like, I don't want to sit in front of a computer my whole life. I was like, I can work with my hands, and I can make visually great stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And so I pursued that. I did a double major in painting and sculpture, graduated with high honors. And after that, I just started working jobs. I worked at an art store, and with a bachelor's degree, I was able to get a job as a substitute teacher. And this is kind of where Phat Lip comes in, because when I got the job as a substitute teacher, I was at a point in my life where I wanted to do kind of like dirty, grimy paintings.
Yeah.
I did a veneer painting.
Like feeling a little edgy.
Yeah, so there's a famous veneer painting. It's a woman with a balance, and I drew her with cocaine, like balancing out cocaine. You know, like that's the kind of stuff I was into at the time. And I was like, I can't post this stuff. And I relate, you know.
Did you couldn't post it because you're a substitute teacher?
Yeah, and you know,
yeah.
kids kids.
Yeah, they're gonna see it and they're gonna be like, "Hey, what's up with this?"
Yeah, they're gonna find me. If they like me, they're gonna find me. They're gonna Google me. They're gonna find Chaz, you know. And so I was like, well, I relate music and art, you know. So I grew up in the mixtape era, datpiff.com, you know. So I figured I'd just make myself kind of like a mixtape. And so I was kind of fumbling with this idea, and where the lips come in is I went to a party. I was trying to date this girl, and her family were a bunch of bikers, and they were just rough dudes. And I was into graffiti at the time, but it was harmless graffiti. So like I would put a sticker on your shampoo, or you know, like if you had dust on your TV, I'd write my name.
Sure.
We all got
wash me on the back.
Yes,
like
exactly.
Something like
super, you know, harmless.
Right.
And the party was just finishing up. Everyone was drinking heavily, and I hear someone yell my name, and I sit up, and the next thing I know, I get sucker punched, and this dude starts beating me.
Jesus Christ.
And I don't even know what I did because I totally forgot. You know, it's just totally
it's like innocuous.
Yeah.
Like harmless, you know what I mean? You're not really like trying to offend anybody, so you're like, what the, you know?
Yeah, exactly. So, so he knocked my glasses off and I couldn't see, and it was pitch black. So eventually I got my glasses. Someone was, you know, just like, break it up. Mm-hmm. He's like, get out of here. And the first thing I did in my car was take a picture of my face.
So those are your lips from...
Those are my lips from getting literally sucker punched.
That's wild.
Yep.
I love that, dude. That's fucking putting a piece of yourself into your art. I love it.
Yeah, so my friend Shark Mart, he lived right down the road, so I went and hung out with him. We kept drinking. I was like, Phat Lip Boys, you know? And I was like, oh, you know, that's kind of a cool name. Now I got a logo.
Yeah, dude, great way to spin it into something sick.
Yeah.
That's dope, dude. I love that.
So when I started it, I was like, well, I could do writings, I could do, you know, my paintings about what I'm doing, and then I can hand them out. Mm-hmm. And I was like, well, I kind of want to put my friends in. And that turned into, well, why don't I find other people that want to put in? And I kind of learned that there was a bit of a gap in the local talent market. Like it was, you know, we have two big galleries. We have 5 Points and Real Art Ways. And no one was, you know, you have to kind of know someone to get into those, or, you know, you get into a jury show, but it's very competitive.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of great artists that don't want to compete. They just, you know, or they don't want to apply, but I know them. And I was like, well, I could just start showing these people. Mm-hmm. And, you know, I'm good at interviewing. I grew up with a dad who's, you know, on the radio. He interviewed me my whole life. So I know how to interview people. And I was like, I could reach out to these people and get cool interviews. And I was like, well, you know, I'll give it a shot, see what happens. I'll treat it like a mixtape. So, you know, the parental advisory, because I like to be a little edgy. And then on the back, I call it the track list. So you could see what's in the magazine, in the back of the mag. And what I did was I sealed it. I would seal these like a comic book. So you couldn't just open it, read it,
yeah,
and then hand it back to me.
That's sick, dude. I love it, dude. That's awesome. the whole mixtape concept is super cool.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You got some edgy articles
Yeah.
and stuff too. You got some
Yeah.
shit in there.
So when I started, I was like, this is stuff not for the internet.
Yeah.
You know, because everyone posted everything. So I was like, this is not for the internet.
Some a little bit more raw.
Yeah, and it keeps it exclusive, you know. And so yeah, I partnered up with this guy named Connected, and then RZP, who's another artist, and his brother Mike the Soup Can, and we did 3 runs of these. So if you have one of these, there's the original, and then at the bottom there's either a second Roman numeral or a third Roman numeral. So this is the original. And the reason for that is because, you know, getting sponsorships and stuff like that, people would, you know, say yes. They would make me make a thing for them and then wouldn't pay me after it ran.
Oh,
So,
that's a bummer.
Yeah, so I learned the hard way, get the money first.
Yeah, get it up front.
You know, because people are not as honest as they turn out to be.
Yeah,
unfortunately.
You'd hope that people would be, but...
Yeah, I try to take everyone, you know, face value. You know, if you're gonna be honest with me, awesome. You know, I respect that. But if you're gonna burn me, whatever.
You know what? I love it. The art speaks for itself. It's really dope.
Yeah. So I did every cover but the second one. RZP is the only person to do the second one,
Really?
the second cover, and it was the most. That one is like the rarest one. If you have Phat Lip 2, Volume 1, Issue 2, you have probably the most rarest issue of Phat Lip.
Keep it safe.
Keep it safe.
Keep that thing safe.
And then, you know, when we started meeting, because we were like, well, what are we going to do with this? I made about $1,000 off this. Off, you know, something I've never done before. The only thing I have that was close to this was I was a business manager at a newspaper in college. So I knew how to get sponsors. I knew how to cold call people and just be like,
hey, if you're making a profit off of a tangible mag, I mean, that's impressive.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You know, that's sick.
Yeah. And, you know, we threw great parties. So we knew people with venue spaces and we're like, we'll just help them. They're small businesses. We'll bring people in the door. It's a win-win for everyone.
That's awesome, dude.
So we did that one. We did the second one. That was a comic book kind of issue. We did the trap issue. This is the trap issue.
So sick.
So we tried to theme it.
I love that.
Around, you know, just like different things we were into. And then the fourth one was the biggest one. And it was, you know, it's you know, an ode to A Tribe Called Quest album cover. And I put all local faces on it. And that was the one that really sold the fastest. Everyone wanted, you know, everyone's faces on the cover of a magazine.
Yeah, of course.
So
get everybody hyped up on it.
And in this one, we talked about kind of all the groups. Everyone had a group name, right? You know, like, example. I mean, we have the Wepa Gang. That was Maldy and Ian and those guys, you know, before we kind of started hanging out with them. The Cheddar Gang. That was Thomas Perel and all those guys. Be Easy Crew. The B Crew. So that was a graffiti group. Daily Wavy guys. Those were Bridgeport. Hardware City. New Britain. Chevy Girls. Those were the girls that were hanging out at Bristol. Sutton Boys. That was Deer Puncher. Kevin Phelps. You know, so everyone kind of had a group and a group name. And we, you know, I was like, this is a great issue to kind of like bring the groups together. It's like almost like that moment in the Warriors.
Yeah,
Cyrus.
I love that.
Like I brought all the groups, all the gangs together, you know?
That's tight, man.
Yeah.
Talk to me a little about CT SOTY. That's one thing that I really like. I love that you like decided to do that, and I just love that everything that like happens with that and stuff. And,
yeah. So it came to me, being in the zine culture for a little bit, I started following other zines, and there's this one zine in Florida, and he did, I think it was like an Orlando SOTY. He just did like a little party, and I was like, what a great idea. And I was like, I could just bracket it. I mean, the votes speak for themselves on Instagram, and you know, I don't pick the winner.
Right.
It doesn't seem like, because I would pick Tommy Colangelo every time.
Shouts out Tommy. Yeah, dude.
So,
That's funny.
I was like, this seems fair, right? So I was like, well, I'll start small. I'll do, 8 people. I'll pick the 8, and then we'll see what happens. It blew up in my face. When I announced it, people did not like it. And I wish I had some screenshots of people's deleted comments. It's like, you're going to tear friendships apart. You're making it like something that's not competitive. And I was like, oh my God.
You're like it's also satirical. I don't know if you noticed that.
Yeah, it's just fun. It's a different contest. We've all done the regular skate contests. So I was like, this is something new and something different. And, I give them like a battle commander, whatever.
Yeah, I love that too, that they'll wrap up and stuff.
Yeah, they earned it. They get a little spotlight. So
I honestly love some of the like spiciness on Instagram when people are like, you see a couple of memes getting dropped and stuff, and it's like,
oh
that's just
yeah,
the funniest shit.
So at this point, in the beginning, I was super sensitive about it. I was like, oh man, like people like hate me because I'm doing this. But now I feed into the drama. It's it makes
you can't let it hurt you.
It makes it fun because it's like, the drama that follows CT SOTY is fun to me now. Mm-hmm. But in the beginning, I was fucking scared shitless. I was like, man, everyone's gonna jump me at the fucking park. Like
I can't even go to the local anymore, dude. People are real salty on this.
Yeah,
they're getting spicy.
So I think what I did was I opened up like one of those suggestion posts, and I was like, who do you want to see as another 8? And then we'll have them compete. So it was, the people's choice versus my choice. And then Eric Abo won. And then there was complaints. Eric Abo doesn't live in Connecticut anymore. And, I didn't really have rules yet. So I was like, all right. So they kind of have to, be.
Eric's super sick, though.
Rips. And he's a local. I grew up watching Eric. So, like, I don't care.
Yeah,
but I understood.
I understand the technicality.
Yes, I understood the technicality, and I was like, okay, so now we have to kind of have a little bit more of a rule. Like, all right, they have to be a current resident in Connecticut to win CT SOTY.
Show the receipts.
Yeah. I need to see your bank statements.
2 pieces of mail.
So and then we did it again. Still a little backlash, but I think people, there's resistance with change, but now that, people see that there's a plan, they're like, okay.
Yeah. I think people I think people kind of like understand more that like the more times it's done, people kind of get it that it's like, like nobody's trying to say anybody's the best or anything like that. Like, it's like, it's supposed to be fun.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
And I know
straight up
that
it's not
any person
like
with a huge,
exactly. Like
anyone with a huge Instagram following is gonna put it on their story, and they're gonna, gain. It's all, just getting. It's a popular vote.
Yeah, and it grows the love in CT, and like just like you were saying with the groups, and I love that function of that issue, and like the CT SOTY kind of does the same thing where it like puts people that presumably might not know each other into the same situation where they're like both analyzing their crews are like analyzing the competitors.
Yeah.
If you want to call them that, they're like, oh, this guy's about to beat my dude in the CT SOTY thing.
Yeah.
Does he even rip? Looking at his Instagram, and it's like, it grows the scene, if people understand not to take it too seriously. It's like I think it's a positive thing for just the culture.
It just showcases, spotlights one person. You know?
In a way that in a way that's not boring,
right?
And like kind of just like duplicated everywhere. Where it's just like, hey, this is my Instagram. Look at it. It's like it's a different type of thing. Or even like when brands are promoting skaters and stuff like that, and you kind of understand the line of logic where you're like, okay, there's a brand and a product behind this person. That's why you're seeing their skating, and it's just a different way of putting all that stuff together for people that I think is fun as shit.
Yeah.
I appreciate it a lot.
Yeah. And then, then Mally won the second one. Mm-hmm. Hayden won the third one. And Clyde won the fourth one, right? I haven't done 5.
All rippers.
Yeah. Right? Hayden's out in California, killing it.
Yeah, he's got great style.
And I tried to do how I kind of try to pick is I started reaching out to the local filmers. I was like, who are your top 5? Mm-hmm. Because they are filming these people. They're out in the streets, literally.
Right. So there's like some type of metric that you can use.
You
know?
And what I do is, if I see a duplicate on their top fives, they're in. You know,
Makes sense.
And then when it gets to like, I check out who I want to pick, who I like, and then I pick them. And then what I do now is, when we did the People's Choice as the 8, it's just a mess. And some people like to meme, you know, and it just becomes a mess.
Yeah.
So I was like, People's Choice get 1. Y'all get 1, so make it count.
Right, yeah.
So the People's Choice, they get 1. That's it. Because it got too messy, and like giving the internet 8 people to pick.
Oh yeah, you can just see how that could get a little complicated.
So so that's how I kind of run it now. Is, you know, I reach out to the local filmers, who are your top 5, figure that out. I pick, you know, 15 from there. I think I ask them like top 10. I pick 15 from that group. I announce it. I let the people vote for the People's Choice, and I put it out, and then they just vote.
There you go.
They vote.
Simple.
Yeah. People's feelings are hurt. People are in my DMs, you know, just cussing me out. I'll screenshot it and post it.
Like, what the hell, dude?
Yeah.
My dude was getting it this year.
Yeah,
like,
yeah. This
hey,
person's
man,
not on the list. Why isn't this person on the list?
Not everybody can be on the list.
Yeah.
Dude. I'm sorry.
Maybe
That's
next
funny.
year, drop a street part.
Yeah,
you
totally,
know?
right? I mean, get some, you know?
And that's like one of the biggest like deciders for me, is like, what kind of street footage are they dropping?
Yeah. You don't want to, like, if you want to be tactile in any way and, like, you know, try to, like, limit the amount of criticism and, like, still keep it fun. Like,
Yeah.
you can do, yeah, absolutely. Like, check the street footage. Those are the real receipts anyways.
Exactly. And, you know, that's what they're going to eventually give me if they make it to the top 4, you know? So that's what I look for, is the street footage, is there dope park footage? Because I asked them to make, when they make, I think, semifinals or pre-semifinals, whatever that is, I asked them to get a minute ready and a headshot, like, ready.
Yeah.
So
That makes sense.
and then I see that minute before I post it, and so, you know, some people put park footage in, some people put street, but, you know, I would prefer street because that's sick.
One
But-
is stronger than the other.
Yes, one is stronger than the other.
Yeah.
But if you have park footage, it's fine.
That's dope, dude. So I want to round back to Phat Lip real quick.
Yeah.
What's your favorite type of, like, thing to feature in your mag? Like, what's your favorite type of?
So what I started writing at the end, which was really fun to me, was paintings and pornos. And so, look, one time I was looking through porn and I saw a Mark Rothko in the background.
Really?
Yeah, and I was like, no way.
You're like, they're at some rich guy's house.
Yeah, that's obviously someone's mansion, or it was a Mark Rothko knockoff. But it was
Maybe.
obviously distinct. Like these are supposed to be like very close to Rothko's. So
Sure.
I screenshotted it and I painted it part of a cell phone series. And then that screenshot kind of lingered, and I thought, wouldn't it be funny if I was like a porn art historian? You know what I'm saying? Like writing
you know
about
all the art, but only if it's been in the background of
yes,
a porno.
exactly.
That's sick, dude.
So I would
Hilarious.
write about the art while, like, you know, 2 people are having sex. I would just write about the art. And
Yeah.
it's like you have to look at the whole scene.
I feel like stuff like that, like, was probably in Playboy back in the day, like where they'd be like atmospheric and not exactly like about the act. You know
yeah,
what I mean?
yeah.
Like, that type of stuff. That's funny.
So kind of shock. I like the shock stuff.
Sure.
So that's what kind of lets me put the parental advisory sticker right on the front. But honestly, the interviews are the best content because those are actually the spotlight for the people. And then we have a segment called Sucker Punch, and that is just for females only.
That's cool.
Yeah, so
That's dope.
I normally on my team always try to keep a female writer in the group, so she always has that perspective and she can, you know, reach out and write about them.
Yeah.
So
That's sick, dude.
yeah.
That's really sick. So where do you see it going in the future? You're gonna keep doing mags? You're gonna keep it running?
So-
keep doing CT SOTY?
I'm gonna keep still doing CT SOTY, but with this move to Vegas, I'm gonna bring Phat Lip with me. So the thing I learned doing Phat Lip is I didn't make money off the magazines. I made money off the parties.
Yeah.
And I linked up with a financial consultant out in Vegas, and he knows how to make money off parties, like big parties. Like he did Cardi B's birthday party in Vegas.
No way.
Yeah, like big parties. So we're going to use the LLC and start doing promotions out in LA and Vegas. And what I want to do is I want to create this unique bridge from Connecticut to Vegas, and give people an opportunity to come out to a big city on the
That's
West
cool,
Coast.
dude. I'd love to go to a party.
Yeah.
That'd be fucking dope.
Absolutely.
You know?
Absolutely.
And Vegas has a lot of shit to skate.
Yes, it
There's
does.
like so much stuff too that like could potentially be skate spots. So you'll go by like perfect ledges that haven't even been touched.
Yep.
You know, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, big ditch scene.
Yep.
Dick scene.
No frost heaves.
Yeah,
either,
yeah.
So it's just like it's there. They built it and it stays there.
Yeah. So that's what I want to do. Is I want to do promotions and parties out in Vegas, and then I could showcase Connecticut artists.
That's it.
And then with SOTY, if I'm doing well out there, I could start flying the winners out to Vegas.
Yeah, do like an extravagant.
Yeah.
Frickin'
Get picked up in a
SOTY
limo.
party.
Yeah, of
Sick.
course. Like make it super ridiculous.
The CT SOTY trip.
Yeah.
Dude. That would be tight.
Yeah, and then I have other plans. I have ideas of like getting close with the Vegas locals out there, and then creating almost like battle of the shops. Like have your guys fly out to Vegas, their guys fly out to Connecticut, and then like almost spot swap, see what they
that'd
create.
be cool, like a trading places.
Yeah,
type thing.
trading places type thing.
That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, so
Shit.
there's ideas. Like Phat Lip I have the LLC. I fucking pay the taxes on it every year, so
There you go.
I might as well use it. And it's always about the culture and Connecticut culture, and I always want to uplift the artists, the skateboarders, the people that are around it, and the people that support it. So
I love that, dude.
yeah,
That's awesome, bro.
yeah.
Shouts out, man.
Thank you.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, no, it's and that's the thing. Like as a community, we should always be uplifting each other. So
I agree.
yeah,
I totally agree.
So-
and especially in a small community like
Yeah.
Connecticut skateboarding.
we're a very
You know?
small state. There's cities that are as big as us.
Yeah.
So
And we catch a lot of flack in Connecticut, just
Yeah.
generally speaking. You know what I mean? People kind of don't realize that, like, not the whole city or not the whole state is, like, the rich suburbs around New York. You
Right.
know what I mean?
right.
So,
Yeah, there's more culture to Connecticut.
For sure.
And that's what I would love to bring out to the West Coast, build a fan base out there too, and then showcase Connecticut artists,
love it.
So,
It's dope,
yeah.
man.
Connecticut, I got your back. Don't you worry.
That's what's up.
So,
All right, man. Let's
Yeah.
wrap it up.
okay, sounds good.
All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in.
Thank
See
you.
later.
We'll see you soon.
Dude, good shit.
Yes.
Hell yeah.
Yes. That was awesome.